Chaos Ball is dead. Or at least, it has been in 2023 for the Seattle Mariners. Over the past couple of years, we have gotten so used to the Mariners winning those close games, keeping us on the edge of our seats, basically coming back in like the 9th inning. And while we've seen it the last few nights here in Oakland, overall throughout the year, the Mariners offense has not looked good enough to have any sort of chaos ball juju left in them. So it begs to ask the question, over the past few years, were the Seattle Mariners just getting lucky? This article by The Athletic says that in 2022, the Mariners won a Major League best 34 one-run games, but this season, they're 3-8 in those games. Now, this is after a game in Philadelphia. Obviously, this is not accounting for the games in Oakland thus far. In 2021, the Mariners went 33-19 in games decided by one run. Their 33 one-run victories led the majors, while their 52 one-run games were most in the American League and 4th most in the majors behind the Mets, the Braves, and the Phillies. In 2021 and 2022, the Mariners won a total of 77 one-run games. They won those games, and that was chaos ball at its finest. The Mariners going in, playing a close game, the bullpen keeping them close, and the Mariners finding a way to scratch across a couple of runs to either bring the game close or take the lead. We've seen that so much over the past few years from the Mariners. We saw a little bit in the playoffs against the Blue Jays as well. The Mariners are just really good in one-run games. At least they were until 2023. We're also giving away 2 tickets to a future Mariners game in the 2023 season. Stick around at the end of the video to find out how to win those. In the article written by The Athletic, they say the Mariners were 3-8 in one-run games. Of course, at the time this was written, that has changed after the game in Oakland. The Mariners won with AJ Pollock hitting that home run. And honestly, against Oakland, it feels like chaos balls come back a little bit, doesn't it? But the real reason the Mariners have been struggling and it feels like their luck has run out is their offense. It's been pretty bad. Their defense, as well as their pitching, has still been good enough to keep them close, but unfortunately for the Mariners, their offense has not been able to scratch across a few runs. Let's take a look at their offensive numbers. 2023 so far, the Mariners rank last in batting average in all of MLB with a .218 batting average. They also rank last in hits per game at 7.3. They're also second to last in the amount of times they strike out per game at nearly 10 strikeouts per game. Their OPS is 25th worst in baseball, but their BABIP is 29th in baseball. They are the second worst team in terms of their batting average on balls in play. Their strikeout percentage, again, is the second worst in baseball. They're 4th in ERA, 8th in earned runs per game. They are 2nd in terms of giving up home runs. The Mariners do not give up many home runs. They are 7th in the terms of strikeouts per walks and 8th in walks per 9. But the real number that I want to focus on here is actually surprising to me, and it might even be to you. And that is the batting average on balls in play, where they are 2nd worst in all of baseball at .272. To put that in perspective, the Oakland Athletics are 26th worst in baseball with a .279 batting average on balls in play. So were the Mariners just getting lucky in 2021 and 2022, or are they getting unlucky in 2023? I think, honestly, they're getting unlucky in 2023. Of course, don't get me wrong. Don't click off the video. Don't get me wrong. The offense has been atrocious. They absolutely have been, but the Mariners have had some hard hit balls that have either had some really good plays made on them with high expected batting averages, or they've just not been coming up in the big spots. And that is evidenced by their batting average of balls in play that is 29th. A lower BABIP usually shows that a hitter is getting pretty unlucky. We've seen that evidenced by guys like even Jesse Winker last year got pretty unlucky with his batting average on balls in play. Colton Wong has had a pretty rough BABIP as well in 2023. That's also usually not sustainable. Usually a BABIP will kind of find its way back to the average. So for the Mariners, they might start to turn a new leaf. They're going to need to do it quick though, because starting today, they're going to be facing the Houston Astros at home for the first time since the Astros knocked them out of the playoffs in 2022. It's going to be a loud crowd, it's going to be a sold out crowd, and the Mariners are going to need every little bit of help they can get out of their offense. And believe it or not, for the Mariners, winning in one-run games is actually kind of a thing they've done for longer than just 2021 and 2022. This article on MLB.com was written in June of 2018, where the Mariners in one-run games were already 21-9 in 2018. Under Scott Service, with some of the same guys from that year, the Mariners have always found a way, somehow, some way, to win these one-run games, to show that this is the team that they are. And so for the Mariners, that's just their identity. That's just how this team has been taught for the last, 8-something years since Scott Service has taken over on the field. And in 2023, they're just getting unlucky because since he took over, they've had a good record in one-run games, So is it really them getting unlucky in 2023? I think it is. Joe and I are introducing Member of the Month. That means that if we can get to 50 members in the month of May, we're going to be giving away 2 tickets. And if we can sustain at 50 members, because Joe and I, unfortunately, are not rich with our YouTube money. If we can sustain 50 members every single month, we're going to be giving away 2 Mariners tickets to one of our members, or some sort of value if you're out of state and can't go to a game, something of that value. So if you want to join the Mariner Mojovians, make sure to hit that join button down below. And also, at the end of the year, we're going to pick one Member of the Year to win some super cool prizes, including a Julio Rodriguez autographed baseball, some merchandise, so on and so forth. So if you want to become a member and join the Mojovians and have a chance at winning some really cool prizes, make sure to hit join down below for $2.99 a month. We really appreciate it. It helps support us a ton. Thank you. And hey, if you're already a member, you can gift memberships down below as well. I'm just saying. Now, of course, the offensive struggles from a lot of the guys at the top, Julio, Ty France, Teoscar Hernandez, Eugenio Suarez lately, it's just unacceptable. How bad they've all been at the same time is definitely contributing to the Mariners' lack of production in these one-run games. But they go out and they get a guy like AJ Pollock in the offseason, a guy who's been there, done that, a veteran, a savvy veteran at that. And in the past 2 nights in Oakland, he tied the game in the 8th and he tied the game in the 9th. You guys smell that? It smells like chaos ball, baby. I think there's one good way to look at this. For the Mariners' top of their order, again, Julio, Ty France, Gino, Teo, there's nowhere to go but up from where they are right now. Over the past week or so, maybe 2 weeks, we have seen some of the worst freaking at-bats out of the top 4 of your lineup that I can even think of in recent memory, other than Jared Kelenic, who's now moved up into that top 4. So for the Mariners, there's no way they get worse, right? And honestly, in my opinion, the people it's hurt the most has been the pitchers. We saw Bryce Miller, we saw Easton McGee, even Logan Gilbert in Oakland. They all go out there and shove, but they get absolutely no run support from their offense. We've seen that a time or two before, yeah? I think we call it getting Felixed, and Joe had a video on that. It's on the screen now. Go ahead and check that one out. I appreciate you guys watching this one, and go Mariners.